the invocation and pledge of allegiance by the Honorable Bill Malinowski.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd just like to throw a few comments out to you on my perceptions. And when I read about history and watch documentaries about previous eras that have gone by, I realize how difficult it must have been to live back there. And I'm really glad that I don't have to live in a cave or worry about hunting for my food, or worse yet, that some other creature out there doesn't want to eat me for dinner. So, but today we're surrounded by different types of dangers, which can sometimes dishearten us about where the world and our community is heading. And things like morality, charitable acts, faith, ethical behavior seem to be in short supply, while things like terrorism, villainy, greed, and dishonesty almost make the headlines daily. So, stories from Scripture, for those of us that believe in the Bible, can really remind us that no matter how corrupt the world may become, even in our own little world in our communities, that we do have a safe refuge in God's loving care. So simple but true, God can be our refuge and our salvation. If you'll please join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Reverend Malinowski.
I think we have a new chaplain.
Thank you, Mr. Malinowski.
Why don't we just get Bill to do this permanently?
How about we do
We might do that.
You may.
All right, next item we have is the presentation of resolution. Item 4A, resolution honoring Robert Murphy for his years of service on the East Richland Public Service Commission. Mr. Manning.
There he is up there. No, that's not him. I don't know where he was.
Ms. Murphy, why don't you come down with Mr. Murphy?
Okay. Let's go around this way.
How you doing? I'm glad to see you as well. Always. Thank you.
Mr. Murphy, how you doing?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of County Council and the public. It's an honor for me and Councilman Damon Jeter to present a resolution this evening in honor of Robert Bob Murphy and his years of service on the East Richland Public Service Commission. And our resolution reads, whereas Mr. Robert Bob Murphy became a member of East Richland Public Service Commission in 1982, and whereas Mr. Murphy's commitment helped him with his commission and cause was rewarded by his promotion to chair of the commission in 1984, and he served as such until 1992. During his tenure, Mr. Murphy played an intricate role in meeting the goals, one of the biggest of which was his involvement with a $28 million upgrade of the treatment plant. And also Mr. Murphy, with his enthusiasm and exceptional performance, well known for his great concern for the employees and the commission service area as a whole. Mr. Murphy was not only dedicated to the commission, but also to his lovely wife of 61 years, Miss Christine Murphy. And some of y'all might recognize her as the town clerk for Arcadia Lakes. And who they have one son, Robert Michael, and a daughter, Cynthia. Therefore, be it resolved that Councilman Manning Jim Manning and Councilman Damon Jeter that the Richland County Council commend Bob Murphy for his significant contributions to the East Richland Public Service Commission and the 15 years of service that he gave unselfishly. And this is signed today and attested by myself, by our chairman, Tory Rush, and attested by Ms. Monique McDaniels, Clerk of Council. Mr. Murphy, thank you very much.
Yes. He's so cute.
Thank you for being here with us tonight. We appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all.
Mr. Manning, if you can stay there for a moment, item 4B, National Recovery Month Proclamation. Mr. Manning.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Pierce is the liaison, our vice chair. If you'll come down and join me and assist me, please. We have representatives here from the Columbia Area Mental Health Center. If you'll come down and join us, members of the RADAC, if you'll come down and join us, and representatives from the National Association of Social Workers. So we get everybody down here, please.
This is Gail Aycock, the Executive Director of LRADAC, and the Executive Director and the Chairman of the Board of the Columbia area that happen to be out of town. Able to fill in, almost immediate past chairman, and chair-elect, John Putto, and no stranger to us, David Jameson, who was the director of LRADAC for about 30 gazillion years, retired now, he's on the board of Columbia area. And it's so nice to see you again.
This is Carla Dameron with the South Carolina chapter of the National Association of Social Workers. So let me hand these out first, I won't have to do that later. All right, so this is the 26th National Recovery Month, celebrated September 2015. Whereas behavioral health is an essential part of health and one's overall wellness, whereas prevention of mental and or substance use disorders works, treatment is effective, and people recover in our area and around the nation. Whereas preventing and overcoming mental and or substance use disorders is essential to achieving healthy lifestyles both physically and emotionally. Whereas we most encourage relatives and friends of people with mental and or substance use disorders to implement preventive measures, recognize the signs of a problem, and guide those in need to appropriate treatment and recovery. Whereas in 2013, 2.5 million people aged 12 or older received substance use treatment at a specialty facility. 34.6 million and other statistics. Whereas Richland County Resources Department, working with Palmetto EAP and Cigna Healthcare of the Carolinas, has helped county employees to form a county support group, recognizing that recovery comes from helping one another, and whereas to help more people achieve and sustain long-term recovery, Richland County government invites all residents of Richland County, South Carolina to participate in National Recovery Month, and it's coming. Dwight Hanna, come on over here. I'm sorry I left you out. This is the Richland County Human Resources Department Director, And he has taken a real leadership role in two of the whereases that I already read, and I apologize, I didn't get you down here sooner. And so it's coming. Here it is. It's now therefore proclaimed. The Councilman Manning, District 8, taking the leadership on behalf of the entire Richland County Council, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2015 as National Recovery Month in Richland County, South Carolina, signed by myself and our chair, Tory Rush, and attested this 15th day of September by the Clerk of Council, Monique McDaniel. So thank you all for everything that you do regarding. Yeah, we gotta do what the picture lady said.
Oh, yeah, you gotta get your photo on.
Need us to move.
Why don't y'all come down to the middle?
Is this a photo ball?
One more. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. See you later. Thanks, Jim.
Mr. Pierce.
Great job.
Mr. Manning, Mr. Pierce, y'all can stay.
Yeah.
Y'all can stay.
Thank you again, Mr. Manning.
Chairman and
Thank you.
council.
Thank you, Mr. Manning. Next item we have is 4C, a resolution declaring the week of September 28th as Active Aging Week. Councilman Rose, Pierce, Jeter, Manning, Councilwoman Dickerson, and Dixon.
Good evening. Can I please have senior resources and also the community-based organization, the Friendship, please come forward? Thank you. You guys can just stand right here. As many of you know, we have a significant older population here in Richland County, and we have some wonderful organizations that are doing great things to meet the needs of this aging population. And Richland County Council deemed it appropriate to name the week of September 28th through October 3rd Active Aging Week. And we wanted to recognize these organizations, and I'm going to read the resolution, which was passed as follows. Whereas Active Aging Week is an annual health promotion event for older adults, their families, and friends, and allows for participants to experience activities and exercise in a safe, friendly, and fun atmosphere. And whereas the key message of Active Aging Week is to encourage seniors to choose an active life to stay mentally and physically healthy as they age. And whereas there are many adults 60 years or older living in Richland County, and it is in the best interest of each individual in Richland County to help all seniors stay as healthy and independent as possible. And whereas some of the positive effects of being active are reducing the risk of obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, stroke, depression, and Alzheimer's disease. And whereas older adults who are physically and mentally healthy contribute to Richland County as volunteers, mentors, and role models. And whereas Active Aging Week will support Richland County's aging population, which is a fast-growing segment, with the goal of improving the health and well-being of our county's older citizens. And now, therefore, be it resolved that Councilman Seth Rose, Greg Pierce, Damon Jeter, Jim Manning, and Councilwoman Joyce Dickerson and Julianne Dixon, along with members of Richland County Council, proclaim the last week in September as Active Aging Week. And we encourage all citizens to recognize the value of active aging for older adults, adopted this 15th day of September 2015. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And appreciate all the support. The Friendship is a new organization in Columbia. It's part of a national village movement that is kind of sweeping the country, and there are lots of villages around the country, and we're proud to say that Columbia has its first village that's open now. The website is thefriendship.org, and we are taking advantage of Older Americans Week to kick off and launch the Friendship. So we hope that you can come to Martin Luther King Park on Monday, September 28th from 10 to 11:30 and help us kick off the Friendship. Thefriendship.org if you'd like more information. There are volunteer applications there as well as member applications online. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm Pam Dukes, Executive Director for Senior Resources. Senior Resources provides choices that empower seniors to remain healthy and independent in their homes as long as possible. And obviously, an active lifestyle fits right in with being healthy and independent. So we're very pleased that Council has proclaimed Active Aging Week. So thank you.
One, two, three. Yeah, one more. Thank you.
I'm a senior citizen on council.
Oh, come on now.
But I am.
Give me a point of privilege. I'm sorry, I should have pointed out that Mr. Larry Brazel, the director of our East Richland Public Service Commission, is with us tonight, and we appreciate you being with us tonight.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Manning. Next, we'll have the approval of minutes. We have one change, Mr. McDonald. Would you like to speak to that?
For the minutes?
No, I'm
or
sorry.
the-
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Next, we have approval of the minutes, regular session, September 8th, 2015. Chair, entertain a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
I got a motion. It's been properly second. Any discussion? All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Next, we have adoption of the agenda.
Yes.
Mr. McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There is one change that I would like to recommend, and that is item 7, the Water Park Evaluation Committee recommendation. I would recommend that the council remove that from the agenda. We will bring that back to you on October 6th at your next meeting with full documentation and with a presentation to be coming with that.
Okay.
Move approval of the agenda with that item 7C removed.
All right. That's the motion that's on the table. It's been properly second. Discussion. All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Item 6, report of the attorney for executive session. Mr. Farr. Fair.
Item 7A is proposed transfer of solid waste contract. It's appropriate for executive session under the FOIA 3470A2. Employee grievance is a personnel matter. A1, Water Park Evaluation Committee recommendations, contractual legal advice. A2, and potential litigation, student housing is a matter for executive session as a litigation matter under A2. We do have outside counsel on item 7D only.
7D?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And just for the record, the water park has been removed. Does he have that? The water park has been removed.
It has been removed. My understanding is executive session would still be appropriate if council so chooses for that particular
I
item.
think we were going to place that on the next agenda.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I move that we go into executive session to discuss item D only.
70, okay. That's the motion on the table, and that is the threatening litigation with student housing. That's the motion that's on the table.
Second.
It's been properly second. Any discussion? All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. We're in executive session.